Actually, I just wanted to say thank you to my family and my fiance for all of their love and support. This has been a long journey, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. I love you all.
Hey guys, it's Amanda. Just wanted to say thank you for all your support over the past 4 years. I can't believe this day is finally here. It's been a long journey and I couldn't have done it without you. I love you all more than you know. Child life, here I come.
Hi guys, it's Abby. I just wanted to thank you all for supporting me these past 4.5 years. Your love and encouragement mean everything. I did it. Love you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob Spadis. I'm graduating from the College of Engineering with a bachelor's in electrical engineering. I would like to take this moment to thank my parents, Rich and Kim, and my brother Richie. Thank you so much for putting up with me through the good times and the bad times. But hey, look, we're finally here, and I love you all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kylie Smolar, and I would like to thank my family for their unconditional love and support. Without all of you, I wouldn't be walking across the stage today. Thank you, and I love you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Ann Hawkins. I am graduating from the College of Nursing. Thank you to my wonderful family and friends for their constant support and belief in me and my dreams. Thank you to everyone who made these past 3 years such an incredible journey.
Hello, my name is Courtney Miller. I am graduating with a master's degree in nursing. I would like to thank my wonderful husband, Joshua, my amazing parents, Tracy and Bradley Salt, my grandparents, my 3 beautiful children, Karina, Elijah, and Isaiah, and my siblings, Mason and Trevor, for all their love, support, and inspiration. Thank you for helping me achieve my dreams. I would not be here today without you.
Hello, my name is Christopher Williams. I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering technology and a minor in Spanish. I would like to thank my mom for her love and support while I pursue my goal of becoming a graduate of Purdue University Northwest.
I am so thankful to my family, and especially my husband, who's my best friend, for the incredible support they've given me while I've been working full-time and attending school. I could not have done this without the encouragement, love, and support from all of you. My colleagues have been spurring me on along the way, and I truly value all their backing. I feel incredibly fortunate to be attaining my degree from such an incredibly noteworthy institution as Purdue. So Purdue, I say thank you for all you have given me, and I say farewell for now.
Good evening. My name is Aubrey Carpenter. I am graduating from the College of Nursing with my BSN. I would like to thank my parents, fiance, and best friend for supporting me and encouraging me when I needed it the most. I would not be where I am without you.
My name is Brittany Florence. I would like to thank my parents, grandparents, and Josh for being a huge support throughout my experiences in college. You have been my inspiration each and every day. I couldn't have made it without you. Love you.
My name is Caitlin Moore. I am graduating from the College of Nursing with a Bachelor in Science. I would like to take this moment to thank my parents and my boyfriend Josh. I couldn't have done it without your guidance and support over these years. Thank you. Love you guys.
Hi, my name is Destiny Kalo. I'm graduating from the College of Nursing with a Bachelor in Science. I wanted to take this moment to thank my mom. I know it wasn't easy, but I couldn't have done this without your guidance and support over these years. Thank you. I love you so much.
Hi, my name is Monica Cuatlacual. I am graduating with my BSN. Quiero tomar este tiempo para agradecer a mi familia por todo su apoyo. Muchas gracias a mi esposo Freddy, nuestro hijo Itzae y mis papás Gustavo y Marisol. Los quiero mucho y gracias por siempre apoyarme en todo.
My name is Miranda Boyd, and I am graduating from the College of Nursing with a Bachelor in Science. I would like to take this moment to thank my parents and boyfriend, Brad. This has been a tough 4 years, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without your guys' love and support. I would also like to take this moment to thank my papa. Even though you are no longer here with me, you have been my reason to push through the tough times because I know you would be so proud. I love you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Taquari Elise Williams, and I am graduating with a bachelor's degree in liberal studies, behavioral sciences. I would like to thank God for allowing me to complete this journey and all of my family and friends for their love and support while I pursued my goal of graduating from Purdue University Northwest.
Hi, my name is Jane Davis Bay, but everyone knows me as Zoe. I'm graduating today with a bachelor's degree in elementary education and a minor in Spanish. I would like to thank my wonderful fiance, David, for always being there for me and pushing me to do my best. I wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for you.
My name is Megan Henrich, and I am graduating with a bachelor's degree in accounting. I want to thank my mom, dad, sister, and fiance for all the love and support throughout the years.
afternoon and welcome to Purdue University Northwest. Will those who are able Please stand for the singing of our national anthem.
Congratulations.
Chancellor Keon, the convocation of Purdue University Northwest's 5th commencement is assembled. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise, the culmination of Purdue Northwest student success, and indeed one of the proudest days in the lives of the graduates and their families. For today's commencement, some of you have traveled across town, others from across the world, as well as locations in between. Today is a day of celebration and recognition, a day of applauding achievement, a day of proud reflection, and perhaps even shedding a tear or two of joy. And of course, this is the day you receive your cherished diploma. Candidates, I applaud you on your hard work, determination, and sacrifice. Parents, grandparents, other family members and friends, I also applaud you for your hard work, your determination, and your sacrifices. Graduation is not a celebration exclusively for those receiving their diplomas. Before we continue the celebration, I invite our graduation candidates to offer their heartfelt, thankful applause for the support they received from parents, family, friends, and others who in various ways contributed to this day. Candidates? Purdue Northwest is honored to have some special guests with us today to help celebrate our graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome our Purdue Northwest Legacy families. Each Purdue Northwest Legacy family has a second and in some cases third generation candidate participating in the ceremony today. They are your sons, daughters, siblings, or grandchildren. They are grateful to the tradition that you continue today and share your pride in all of our graduates. Will the Legacy families please stand? My lone instruction of the day is to ask that all in attendance be respectful as we read the names of each of the graduates so that each of you will be able to hear the name of your graduate. Thank you. Several individuals whose leadership is vital to Purdue Northwest are seated on the platform. Inasmuch as they will not be introduced later, I want to take this opportunity to introduce them to you now. As I do, I would ask them to stand and remain standing, and I would invite you to recognize them with your applause after all have been introduced. The Chair of our Faculty Senate and Grand Marshal, Dr. David Detmer. Interim Vice Chair of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Professor Joy Colwell. Vice Chancellor for Institution Advancement, Dr. Lisa Goodnight. Vice Chancellor for Information Services, Mr. Tim Winders. Interim Department Chair of English and presenter of the candidates, Dr. Paul Hecht. Our diploma marshals are Ms. Cheryl Arroyo and Ms. Jennifer Williams. It is now my pleasure to introduce Stephen R. Turner as our guest speaker this afternoon. Steve is the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration at Purdue Northwest. He serves as Financial Officer and Administrative Officer for the university. Vice Chancellor Turner is a distinguished alumnus. As many of you know, I like to have a graduate be our guest speaker, and has worked for the university since 1998. In his current role, he is responsible for budget planning, financial analysis, debt management, cash management, business support services, human resources, strategic planning, capital projects, facility planning and operations, procurement, public safety, regulatory compliance, property acquisitions, and asset management. In his spare time, he plays the guitar. Steve earned his associate degree in mechanical engineering technology from Purdue Northwest, a baccalaureate degree in psychology from Indiana University Northwest, a master's degree in education leadership from Western Michigan University, and a master's degree in business administration from the Krannich School of Management at Purdue West Lafayette. Steve served extensively in leadership roles throughout Northwest Indiana. He currently serves on the South Coast Conservancy District Board of Directors as their president, the board trustee for LaPorte Hospital, NIPSCO Community Advisory Panel, the board of directors for LaPorte County United Way, and the board of directors for the Challenger Learning Center. Steve and his wife, Jackie, our lifelong Northwest Indiana residents, proud parents of 3 adult children, all of whom are PNW alums. And he takes great pleasure, as well as his wife, in spoiling their 6 grandchildren. I bring to you Steve Turner.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. I think the introduction may be longer than my speech, so maybe not. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PNW. To the family members and friends of our graduates, thank you for taking the time to be here today to share in this special occasion. I also wish to recognize and thank all of our dedicated faculty and loyal support staff. And it's only through their efforts that occasions like this can be celebrated semester after semester and year after year. Most importantly of all today, it's the graduates. I'm here to congratulate you, to hold you up, to encourage you, to challenge you, and hopefully to inspire you. Having the opportunity to speak to you on this day, at this time, and in this place is one of the greatest honors I've received, and for it I am grateful and flattered. Several years ago, Chancellor Keon began the tradition of inviting distinguished alums to provide the keynote address on these occasions. Now, mounted on the wall in the hall outside my office is a long row of photos of the previous distinguished alums who have spoken here in the past. Below each photo is a quotation of the wisdom that they have shared during these presentations. Now, since being asked to speak here today, I've often paused in front of those photos to read the names and read the quotations and wondered what I could possibly say that might impress you or cause you to remember anything that I've said. And to be honest with you, it was kind of intimidating to see that reminder on a daily basis. I also began to think back on the commencement ceremonies in which I have participated, and to be honest with you, I could not recall a single comment from any of those 4 occasions. So, it's my goal today to leave you with something that you will remember, something that you can use, something that will help you be successful in your chosen career, happier in your personal life, and better prepared to enjoy and appreciate the wonderful journey that you are about to begin. My background, as you have heard, is a bit non-traditional. My presentation will be a bit non-traditional as well. Today, the theme of my message is lessons learned by paddling a canoe. Yes, you heard it right. Lessons learned by paddling a canoe. Thank you. I see at least a couple smiles. I also will be asking you to help me out with a few opportunities for audience participation. So I need to get something that I'm going to use during the course of the presentation, and I'll explain here in just a moment. So give me a second. So this is what I'll ask you to do on a couple of occasions during the course of my presentation this afternoon. I'm going to hold up this paddle, and when I do, I want you all to shout out, "Paddle your canoe." Can you guys do that for me? So let's practice. I'm going to hold it up, and you're all going to shout out, "Paddle your canoe." That's pretty good enthusiasm, too. Thank you. I had a little note here that if you weren't enthusiastic enough, we were going to do it twice. So I think that was good. Thank you. Now, I was a Boy Scout growing up, and one of the many activities I enjoyed was canoeing. We took day trips, a few night trips, and I always thought that being on the river was just one of the coolest things ever. My wife and I took our 3 children on many canoe trips over the years, often accompanied by extended family and friends. I enjoyed the natural beauty. I enjoyed the quiet feel of the river flowing beneath me. And on one of our trips, I began thinking about the parallels of navigating through life and how it was just like learning how to paddle a canoe. Now, your time here at Purdue Northwest has come to an end. You've completed a certain journey, and you are about to begin a new journey. Envision, if you will, think in your mind's eye, about that new journey as a canoe trip on a river that you have never seen. Now, you can choose the river, and you must, but you cannot possibly know exactly what you'll find on it. You could just sit in your canoe and let the current take you where it will. It's easy and pleasant to float sometimes. But if you have a special destination, if you have a particular goal in mind, then you'll have to learn how to, let's hear it. That's excellent, thank you. Awesome. The view is beautiful, but you can't see beyond the next bend in the river. You have to navigate as best you can and be prepared to adjust course when the unexpected occurs. And you will encounter obstacles, you absolutely will. It could be a log jam, a series of rapids, a waterfall, impossible to get through. If you wish to continue, you'll need to portage your canoe. That means you have to go to shore, get out, carry your canoe around the obstacle till you can find a clear stretch of river. For some, the journey ends there. They never get back in their canoe. They choose to sit on the bank, watch the river flow, curse their bad luck, and blame the obstacle for their fate. Like many of you here today, I'm a first-generation college graduate. Neither of my parents attended college. I was the first in my family to do so. That means that for us, there wasn't an experienced guide to help us on our journey. We had to figure it out as we went along. Today, what I'd like to share with you is a bit of my experience in the hopes that you will find it helpful as you begin this next journey in your life. Now, some of these things you've heard during my introduction, but I want to touch on a few of them just to let you know. I didn't go to college straight out of high school. I had a good job. I thought I was making good money, working at a local hospital, and I was quite happy to float on the current for a while. At some point, it did occur to me that I needed to start paddling. So, while continuing to work full-time, I enrolled at Indiana University Northwest and earned a bachelor's degree in psychology. Now, very shortly thereafter, I took a position at the same hospital working as an assistant counselor in an addiction treatment center. And it was then that I hit my first logjam. After much soul searching, I had to admit to myself that I really didn't like being a counselor, and it's not a career path that I should continue on. I had to get off that river. It was time to portage my canoe. And so I enrolled at Purdue Northwest to pursue a degree in mechanical engineering technology. By this time, my wife Jackie and I, who's here today, had our first child, who's also here today, but no longer a child. Thank you, guys. The canoe was a little harder to paddle, it's true, but things were going well. I earned my associate degree was in the second semester of my junior year when I came upon a fork in the river. I was offered a management position in a public school system in West Michigan. I withdrew from my classes and took the job. Another bend in the river. I enjoyed the K-12 environment in Michigan, and I decided while I was there that I wanted to become a chief school business official. And so I enrolled in graduate school at Western Michigan University to earn my master's in educational leadership. I was still paddling. The next change allowed us to move home to the region when I accepted a position at a public school system in Lake County. And then 5 years later, I switched from K-12 education to higher education when I came to Purdue Northwest in 1998. Yet another fork in the river. In the year 2000, I was offered a fellowship to attend the executive MBA program at the Krannert School of Management in West Lafayette. Now that was an interesting portion of my journey for many, many reasons. But mainly because during the final year of the program, my son was a freshman at Purdue on the same campus in which I was enrolled as well. Now I gotta tell you, one way to know that you've been on the river for a very, very long time is when your son paddles up next to you in his own canoe. Over the span of my career thus far, I've worked in 3 different public service sectors. I've held 8 very different positions. I've earned 4 degrees in different disciplines. But remember, this was not the journey I anticipated. This was not the journey that I planned. Looking back, there was absolutely no way that I could have anticipated all the forks, all the bends, all the obstacles. When I encountered one, I had to evaluate the conditions carefully, then listen to my inner voice, trust my instinct, and keep paddling. I've had an interesting and rewarding career, and I know that you can too. I think it's likely that your journey will be even more interesting and perhaps more challenging than mine. But here's how you can ensure that you will be successful in this next phase of your journey. First, decide which river you wish to be on. Then, go to the water's edge, push off, and thank you. You guys are great. Thank you. Don't be satisfied with a float trip. Certainly don't sit at the bank and let the river flow past you. When you hit an obstacle, and you will hit obstacles, pick up your gear, carry it around the other side till you find a clear spot. Your skills, your experience, they increase each time that you do. You will trust yourself more, and your confidence grows each time you overcome an obstacle. You will eventually become an expert at reading the current and begin to appreciate each new bend of the river. And that is when the journey is its most beautiful. And that is when you will know that you are ready to become a guide for others. So I encourage you to embrace and enjoy your journey. And I want you to always remember, one last time, thank you very much. Congratulations, good luck, and bon voyage.
I think it's very interesting. I didn't hear the speech before he did it, and I realized that, you know, a canoe is really nimble, and it can move in many, many different ways. But I want you to know that Steve is actually a rock for the university, because on the few occasions when I'm down, he looks at me and he says, you know, we're not riding a canoe, we're trying to turn a ship. And sometimes that ship doesn't turn very quickly. So thank you very much. Please join me again in thanking Steve. For the introduction of academic degrees, I now invite Professor Anastasia Treckles, representing the Purdue Northwest faculty, to the podium.
The conferral of academic degrees is a critical responsibility, the accomplishment of which signifies that degree recipients have successfully completed a sufficiently rigorous and enlightening curriculum of courses that provides appropriate preparation to assume roles of contribution, responsibility, and leadership that advance our society. The faculty of Purdue University Northwest has evaluated the academic accomplishments of the candidates presented here today and concluded that, pending the completion of any outstanding requirements, each of these candidates meets the criteria for receiving a Purdue University degree. Based on that conclusion, the faculty recommends to the Purdue Board of Trustees that appropriate degrees be conferred. We have assembled here to celebrate that conferral.
Dr. Rebecca Stankowski, Associate Vice Chancellor for Institutional Effectiveness and Interim Director of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the master's degree.
Will the candidates for the master's degree please stand? These students have successfully fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree. Each wears a hood, recognizing his or her academic discipline and symbolizing the completion of that advanced degree. With approval of the faculty, they are now presented to receive their degrees.
We are honored that Trustee DeKreiger, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, is here today to confer the degrees. Trustee DeKreiger, please join me at the podium.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising the authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the master's degree, with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as holders of the master's degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligations of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will Candidate Marshal Mr. Roy Hamilton please escort the candidates for graduate degrees forward to receive their diplomas. As the candidates make their way to the stage, please note they will be crossing in a random order. Andrew Orlowski. Don Jesuit. Stephen Tance.
Congratulations, master's degree graduates.
Dr. Ralph Mueller, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Provost, will now recognize distinguished undergraduate students.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great joy and privilege to provide special recognition to those individuals receiving baccalaureate degrees who have demonstrated outstanding scholastic achievement. The commencement booklet contains a statement of the basis upon which the status of distinction and highest distinction is determined. Candidates wearing black and gold cords symbolize this achievement. I invite the degree candidates who are graduating with highest distinction to please stand and remain standing. I also invite the degree candidates who are graduating with distinction to please stand and remain standing. On behalf of the, sure. On behalf of the Purdue trustees and the faculty of Purdue University Northwest, I congratulate you and your outstanding academic record. May you continue to be motivated by excellence and high standards in your quest to make positive contributions throughout your life. Congratulations, and please be seated. I now introduce the Associate Dean of the Honors College, Dr. Vanessa Quinn, who will recognize candidates of the Honors College.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to recognize the candidates from the Honors College. I invite the Honors College candidates to please stand and remain standing. These students have fulfilled the graduation requirements of the Honors College, including completion of the academic curriculum and related coursework, substantive research in their areas of discipline, service engagement with the local community, and leadership experience across a range of diverse areas. These students have received and are wearing the Honors College medallions on gold and black ribbons. Please join me in the applause. I invite the Honors College candidates to be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Jane Muchler to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Business.
I'm pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in business. Will the candidates stand and please remain standing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Chris Holford to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences.
Provost Mueller, I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Engineering and Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Elaine Carey to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences.
Provost Mueller, I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Lisa Hopp to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Nursing.
I am pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Nursing. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce Dean Niaz Latif to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology.
Provost Mueller, I'm pleased and proud to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in the College of Technology. I invite the candidates to stand and remain standing.
Before I present you for the formal awarding of degrees, I will charge each one of you in my capacity as Purdue University Northwest's Chief Academic Officer. Today is Commencement Day. As the word commence indicates, this is a time of beginnings, not ends. A beginning of a journey to find your individual futures. During the past few years, we have grown very fond and very proud of you. So I will convey my charge through 3 distinct observations about you. Our first observation, innovation, is about your past, about your eagerness and readiness to innovate. You arrived on campus a few short years ago, the very beginning of what then seemed so far away, today, beginnings day. You came ready to learn about thinking, about listening, about speaking, and about doing. But also, you were ready to explore others' point of view, others' ways of life, and others' explanations of what you had assumed were universal truths. All led to one goal, the one we're here to mark and celebrate today, to begin your future. Along your path at PNW, you learned to grow, to become an innovator of what will become your own individual future. And this then brings me to our second observation about you, impact. And it is about your future, your maturity as learned citizens to impact others, to bring about change. You prepared well for the day when you will leave your mark. All the academic work is no good if ultimately if it does not touch people. Children who need to be taught, patients who need your care, colleagues who need your advice, or neighbors who need your help. With your dedication, with your drive to make the world a better place, you will make academic knowledge have an impact on our communities. One child, one patient, one colleague, one neighbor at a time. So where then does your past, your eagerness to innovate, meet your future, your commitment to impact others? Well, they meet right here in the present, at this very moment. And this then is our third and final observation about you. You continue to improve. While you were a student at Purdue University Northwest, I hope we opened some doors for you, doors into your future, for you to walk through and innovate and impact and improve. So here then is my simple charge to you. When you see those open doors, explore what lies beyond. Right now in the present, be innovative in choosing your own future. Have the courage to walk through one of those doors. Walk through and find yourself. And it is okay too to turn around and walk back out and check another door, another future. But ultimately, do walk through one of the open doors. And as you do, if you see someone else behind you who needs a little extra encouragement, a little extra help to walk through that door, make an impact by engaging them to join you. Guide them through that door towards your connected journeys to improve yourselves and the world around you. Innovate, impact, improve. 3 words that guide your future. They define this beginnings day, and they are my charge to you. Please know that we are proud of you. Please know that we are proud of those who made all of this happen for you. But also know that we know that you should be very proud of yourselves. You did it. I wish you well, I congratulate you, and I salute you. Chancellor Keon, these students have successfully fulfilled the requirements of undergraduate curricula in their respective colleges. Having gained approval for graduation by each of their college faculties, I now present them to you to award their degrees.
Trustee Malcolm DeKruiger will now confer the degrees.
Observing the respected custom of institutions of higher learning and exercising authority of the trustees of Purdue University, legally vested by the people of the state of Indiana and acting upon behalf of the faculty of this institution, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I also solemnly place upon you those obligations which you must henceforth assume as holders of the degree. As evidence of your ability to fulfill the requirements and obligations of this degree, you will now receive your diploma.
Will each college marshal now escort the baccalaureate degree graduates forward to receive their diplomas? Graduates, would you please be seated until your row is called?
The graduates of the College of Business, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Sandra Steele. Crystal Perez. Emily Ritchie. Ashley Hoagland. Brittany Vella. Brandon Binns. Stephen Garner. Lee Killingbeck. Oh, wait. Marius Slimbarski. Timothy Brown. Christopher Sales. Nicholas Rue. Matthew McDonald. Kelsey Dreibelbiss. Connor Whitfield. Megan Maresca. Megan Henrich. Matthew Schrum. Jessica Brinkley. Regina Washington. Dana Dutcher. Richard Delgado. Audrey Manolowitz. Caitlin Hancock. Athenia Herrera. Joey Alva. The graduates of the College of Engineering and Sciences, escorted by Candidate Marshal Mr. J.C. White. Eric Williams. Marie Sleva. Brittany Fields. Jessica Stemper. Felicia Foster. Marissa Myers. Ryan Schmaltz. Tyler Bogue. Garrett Vile. Ellen Apuye. Devin Barber. Samantha Higgins. Bradley Troop. Shannon Summers. Christina Carr. Sierra Lafreniere. Vanessa Moreno. Brandon Davis. Madeline Schuta. Priscilla Tapia. Jennifer Jablonski. Brianna Williams. Felicia Stearns. Deepika Rampuria. The graduates of the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Amy Lebowskis. Katrina Vanderwood. Jacqueline Rands. Julia Abbott. Justin Randolph. Joel Berkey. Chris Cribbs. Emma Woodbury. Ethan Hall. Zachary Robbins. Samuel Karras. Jessica Kellerstrass. Christine Wittenberg. Taquare Elise Mason. Trevor Nightingale. Jonathan Rickard. Allison Bachman. Mackenzie Hyatt. Brandon Adkins. Richard Wilkerson. Taylor Farrell. Victoria Hubbard. Shayna Jacks. Macy Miller. Emma Dixon. Jennifer Ayers. Rachel Power. Jane Davis Bay. Jenny Hernandez. Nicholas King. Alexis Fontaine. Christopher Rhodes. Connor Lindsay. Justin Ricker. Evan Pearson. Blair Bruno. Samantha Brumley. Cheyenne Jackson. Jenna Leach. Cassidy Pennington. Michelle Slack. Christine Hebert. Kayla Patrick. Colin Kenny. Brandy Porter. The graduates of the College of Nursing, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Amy Grossman. Natalie Shepard. Josie Grund. Shelby Sadler. Monica Quatlaquattle. Caitlin Moore. Miranda Boyd. Destiny Kalo. Maya Marusak. Donna Patton Lockman. Sarah Krieger. Lu Wang. Deidre Nuccio. Felicia Tagenhorst. Letitia Hare. Amanda Julian. Stephanie Mahalich. Caitlin Anderson. Sandy Kwan. Brenda Roy. Aubrey Carpenter. Brittany Florence. David Vanderheer. Linda Esquivel. Ashley Sosby. Brianna Winter. Jennifer Barrier. Danny Heath. Rocio Beecham. Caitlin Burcham. Anissa Saffold. Lauren Wilk. Brittany Dunham. Eric Shanahan. Andrew Frecky. That was nursery. Right. Sorry, I lost my place for a second. The graduates of the College of Technology, escorted by Candidate Marshal Ms. Amy Bishop. Kara Visna. Christopher Brown. Corey Burton. Aaron Deal. Zachary Obringer. Kevin Koros. Zacharias Fratagillo.
To signify completion of your degree requirements and receipt of your diploma, I now invite all graduates to move the tassel on their mortarboard to the left side. Congratulations, you are now a Purdue Northwest graduate! To officially welcome you to the Purdue Northwest alumni contingent comprised of thousands, I invite Ms. Ashley Geradomos, Executive Director of Purdue Northwest Alumni Community, to the podium.
Congratulations to the newest Purdue University Northwest alumni. I am honored to be the first to welcome you into the PNW Alumni Community. As graduates, you join a community of over 61,000 strong, made up of CEOs and entrepreneurs, of lawyers and advocates, of leading scholars and researchers, Emmy Award winners, mayors, state representatives, journalists, nurses, physicians, authors, judges, and so much more. Each a story that has added to our rich history and paved the way for future Purdue Northwest students. It doesn't seem like very long ago that I was sitting where you are today. I am a very proud 2008 Purdue Northwest graduate from the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. I reflect fondly on my time as an undergrad. It wasn't always easy, but this is the place where I met some of my closest friends, made lifelong connections, and the place where I met my husband. When I entered the workforce, it became evident to me and my supervisors that the education I received at Purdue Northwest prepared me to succeed in my field of study and beyond. Outside of my own family, the biggest supporters I've had throughout my career have been my professors and other PNW community members. Before I returned to serve PNW, it was deeply important to me to stay connected. These people continue to be my mentors and advocates, creating new connections for me. Purdue Northwest is more than books, bricks, and mortar. Its real value is in its community of people. So my advice for you is to stay connected. Shoot a quick email to your favorite professor to check in or let them know of a new project you are working on. Encourage your company to recruit from PNW. Find me on LinkedIn. Keep up with what is happening here on campus and in our alumni community. Your network is strong. Stay engaged in it. You each have your own stories and connections that you have created in your time here. Now, class of 2018, go out there and continue writing your story and paving the way for future Purdue Northwest students. I am so proud to call you fellow alumni. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ashley. Ladies and gentlemen, Riley Owens, Student Government President, will now respond to the graduates on behalf of all students from Purdue University Northwest.
Hello, Purdue Northwest graduates, staff, faculty, distinguished guests, family, and friends. Today, we are celebrating a momentous occasion in each of your lives. I'd like to give a huge congratulations to each and every one of you graduates now, and to all your family and friends who no doubt are cherishing this moment just as much as you all are. I can imagine that this day for some is a blur, whipping by at 1,000 miles an hour, but I know for sure for all of us it is a relief. Today I'd like to talk about two things, change and success. We've all been through one heck of a ride here together at PNW, two campuses becoming one unified university, and with that merge, all the challenges we had to overcome. And personally, all of you graduates had to put in countless hours writing papers, cramming for tests in the classroom, and working on projects. Some had to endure all this coursework while being a single parent, others while working a full-time job. But no matter what your situation, you have achieved the greatest feat by graduating. Now, a new chapter begins for all of you, whether it be going for a master's or a doctorate, beginning work in your fields of study, starting a family, or any combination of these. Please know this, life is a tough road ahead, but you all can continue to succeed just as you have had the past 4 years. You can change the world, and I don't mean that in the cheesy, cliche catchphrase way. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Each and every one of you graduates can go out and change the world. While we can all point to somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Gates, or Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who have acted on a large part to change the world, that's not the only way to change the world. Through your interactions on a daily basis with the people you casually pass by or intimately speak with, you can change the world for the better. Sometimes this change can be without even speaking, but instead through your actions. If a loved one is crying, just putting your hand on their shoulder or embracing them to let them know that they are not alone in this struggle. See, small acts of kindness can change someone's day or even someone's life. It's a story of a man in San Francisco who lived a few miles from the Golden Gate Bridge. One day, tragically, he was found washed ashore at the foot of the bridge at the bay. Police assumed that he had jumped off the bridge, but they went to his house to make sure that there was no foul play. When they got to his home, they found a note. And the note says, quote, "I'm going to jump off the bridge unless one person smiles at me or talks with me on my walk there." Just think, if one person had shown him a smile, talked to him on his few-mile walk, his life literally would have been saved. And who knows what other ripple effects the sparing of this man's life could have had on society or others. Drew Dudley gives a fantastic TED Talk where he says we should celebrate small acts of kindness. And I believe we should celebrate those small acts of kindness just as much as we celebrate today's graduation. See, your success should be measured not in your wealth, your status, accolades, or accomplishments. No, your success should be measured by how many lives you change and touch through small acts of kindness and your interactions with others on a daily basis. Similarly, the late ESPN sportscaster Stuart Scott was accepting the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance at the 2014 ESPY Awards. He was recognized for perseverance due to his battle with terminal cancer and his strength of mind during that battle. In his very moving acceptance speech, Stuart said that you beat cancer in how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. I'd like to expand upon that and say that the how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live will determine how much change you bring about into the world and how much success you will have in your life. As I close, I would like for all of us to start practicing change and fostering the success of those around us through the small acts of kindness. I'd like to ask all graduates right now to look to the person on your left on your right and give that person a huge congratulations. Give them a hug, give them a handshake, or just a smile. You guys all have just started now the first seed you've sown in a lifetime of small acts of kindness that can change the world. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, Riley. You've heard a number of people today talk to you, talk about your success, and talk about your future. We at the university assuredly want you all to be successful and be the best you can be. Unlike Steve, I grew up in an inner city, so the first time I got in a canoe, I thought I could stand up. But I learned from that, and you too, when you fall and tip over, will learn and succeed. So we hope all the best for you and your future success. Maybe that success will bring you to be the graduation commencement speaker sometime in the future. When you are successful, please, as mentioned before, think about internships for students who are at Purdue University Northwest, and by all means, hire as many as you can that you think will be successful. And finally, give back. Give back to your community, give back to society, and stay connected to your university. We're very proud of our Purdue University Northwest graduates, and we hope that you will continue to be proud of your university. Congratulations once again to the graduates of Purdue University Northwest Fall Class 2018. There will be an informal reception for graduates and guests immediately following the ceremony in Great Hall located in this facility. I hope you will attend. It's always a pleasure. I ask that you remain seated for the recessional of the platform party and the faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th commencement exercise for Purdue University Northwest has now concluded.